Imagine going to pick up 20 dogs and coming home with 80. That is exactly what happened in Houston this month, and almost every single one of them was a Chihuahua. 80 tiny dogs, one shelter that was already full, and a rescue community that had to move fast. If you love small dogs, this is one of those stories that sits with you. So today I want to walk you through what actually happened, separate the confirmed facts from the parts we still do not know, and then talk about the practical side, what these dogs need now, and how you can help even if you are nowhere near Texas. Stick around to the end because there is one small thing almost anyone can do that genuinely makes a difference. Here is what we know. According to Fox 26 Houston, responders went out to a property expecting to collect about 20 dogs. When they got there, the situation was much bigger. Roughly 80 Chihuahua mixes were living outdoors in filthy, unsafe conditions. All 80 ended up at BARC, the city of Houston's municipal shelter, a shelter that was already dealing with overcrowding before any of this happened. So overnight, dozens of frightened, mostly unvetted tiny dogs needed intake, medical attention, and somewhere safe to land. The co-president of PetSet, Tina Lundquist-Faust, described how quickly that routine pickup turned into a massive operation. And the executive director of Houston Pets Alive, Shannon Parker, made the point that handling 80 dogs at once takes the whole local rescue community pulling together. Several groups, including Houston Pets Alive, stepped in and took some of the dogs to ease the pressure on BARC. Now let me be careful here because this case is still open. We do not yet know if anyone is facing criminal charges. The shelter is releasing limited details while the investigation continues. So if you see posts online claiming to know exactly who did this or why, treat those with caution. I would rather give you the verified version and update it later than repeat something that turns out to be wrong. Here is the part that hits Chihuahua people especially hard. Chihuahuas end up in shelters and hoarding cases far more often than most people realize. They are small, they are easy to acquire in large numbers, and when dogs are not spayed or neutered, the population grows fast. That is how a single property can quietly end up with dozens of them. And then there is the emotional side. A lot of these dogs lived outside with very little human contact. When a dog grows up like that, the world feels unpredictable. So the behavior people read as attitude in a tiny dog is very often fear. A scared Chihuahua might freeze, hide, tremble, or back away when a hand comes toward them. From the outside, it can look like a dog being difficult. Up close, it is usually a dog being overwhelmed. So what do these dogs actually need next? More than food and a warm bed, although those matter too. Many of them will need full veterinary exams, vaccines, dental work, and spay or neuter surgery before they can be adopted. But the part people underestimate is decompression. That is just a calm, quiet, low-pressure stretch of time where a dog gets to learn that people can be safe. You cannot rush it. A dog who hides under a blanket for the first few days is not rejecting you. That hiding is often the first sign of progress because the dog finally feels safe enough to rest. If you have ever brought home a scared rescue, you already know this. The real personality shows up later, on the dog's schedule, not ours. Even if you never foster a single dog, there are a few lessons here worth carrying with you. First, scared does not mean unfriendly. Give a frightened small dog weeks, not hours. Second, slow handling builds trust. Instead of reaching over a nervous dog, get low, hold still, and let them come to you. Third, spay and neuter genuinely prevent the next version of this story. Most hoarding cases start with just a couple of unaltered dogs. And fourth, microchips and ID tags matter so much for tiny dogs because they slip through doors and gaps we would never expect. Okay, here is the part I promised. How can you actually help? If you are anywhere near Houston, the single most powerful thing you can do is foster. Fostering opens up a shelter spot and gives one of these dogs a quieter place to recover. And here's what a lot of people do not realize. BARC and the partner rescues usually provide the supplies, and you can foster for just a few days or for a few weeks. It is more flexible than people think. If fostering is not possible, adoption is the long-term home these dogs are working toward. You can look at BARC's adoption program or one of the partner rescues like Houston Pets Alive. And if you cannot bring a dog into your home at all, you can still donate to the rescues doing the medical work or simply share their verified updates so the right adopter sees them. And if you are watching this from somewhere far from Texas, your own local shelter almost certainly has small dogs waiting right now, too. Here is where I land with all of this. 80 tiny dogs lost the only life they knew this month. And now, because a lot of people moved quickly, they have a real shot at something better. The hard part of this story is what made the headlines. But the quiet part, the foster beds, the vet visits, the slow morning when a scared little dog finally stretches out and relaxes, that is where the actual recovery happens. And a surprising amount of that is powered by ordinary people deciding to help. So I want to hear from you. If you have ever adopted or fostered a scared rescue Chihuahua, what was the moment you realized they finally felt safe? Tell me in the comments because those stories help other people take the leap. If you want more Chihuahua rescue stories and tiny dog updates like this, the full written article is linked below and you can join the Chi Society pack for free. Link in the description. Take care of your tiny dogs and I will see you in the next one.